The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is out on Hulu, new thriller directed by Michelle Garza Cervera, starring Micah Monroe and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It's a reimagining of a 1992 movie under the same title, which I haven't seen, but apparently a significant part of the plot was changed, so it's not really a direct remake. The story starts with a woman named Caitlin, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's a rich, successful lawyer in Los Angeles with a happy family who gives some legal advice to Polly, played by Micah Monroe, an obviously less successful woman having some trouble with her landlord. Months later, the two women randomly run into each other, and as they get to talking, Caitlin ends up hiring Polly as a nanny for her two children. Initially, this seems absolutely wonderful. Polly has a great approach to the kids and everyone likes her, but then things start slowly getting weird, and Caitlin becomes paranoid about Polly's true intentions. So I think this is a movie which starts quite interesting and is rather adept at building up tension for the first half. But then there comes a point where it needs to start doing something interesting, and it just never does. And it kind of fizzles through the second half into a strange and abrupt ending. I think that the frustrating thing is that there is probably a better movie in here somewhere with the setup of social inequality, hints at Polly being homeless, the subplot with the stop sign where Caitlin keeps complaining about cars driving too fast next to her house and pushes for a stop sign to be installed there. But when it finally does, and she's in a hurry, she just runs right past it, showing her hypocrisy and self-centeredness, and sort of the fact that she thinks others should abide by the rules that she doesn't. So it appears that the movie is positioning itself to go into a similar route of social commentary as Parasite just a couple of years ago. But then it kind of abandons that premise and instead opts for a plot twist and a plot reveal, which steer the story into much more of a personal revenge territory. And I don't think that those reveals make total sense. There's some clunky logistics with the flashback sequence not really making too much sense. I also think the ending, as I said, comes off as a bit too sudden and abrupt, and it is also unintentionally funny with one particular shot, which I think was meant to be very shocking and sort of unexpected and tense, but when you're laughing at it, it kind of breaks the spell. It is a bit of a shame because the two lead actresses are doing a decent job, but as I say, the movie wastes its own pretty good setup and becomes just an average, middling thriller.